So the final part for activity 5.5a is the wheel, the Automoblex wheel, and this is actually a simplified version. And this is available in your activity sheet, which is located in Canvas under 5.5a. So I have a new part open here. I'm going to start a new sketch, and I'm going to work on the XY plane. And if you look at the activity sheet, it's actually a series, or a set rather, of 4 concentric circles. So 2 interior and 2 exterior larger circles. So the first thing I'm going to do is grab the circle command. I'm going to create my first circle, and the dimension it provides me for that is 0.440. And then I'm going to create another circle, and it's actually a smaller diameter circle. And I'm just going to click in here anywhere just to place it. And then I'm going to grab my dimension command, and I'm going to dimension between this initial circle I made and this interior circle. And that dimension on your dimension sheet is 0.05. I'm going to create my next circle, which is larger, so I'm going to start in the center point, and I'm going to approximate what size it is, somewhere around there. I'm going to use my dimension command, and the dimension between this circle and this circle I just generated, and that dimension should be 0.35. And then I'll create one final concentric circle, and I know that dimension between those 2 exterior circles should be 0.05. Once I have that, I'm going to go ahead and finish that sketch, and I am going to extrude both the exterior circle and the interior one, and I know that depth should be 0.57. So once you make this, you should have 2 cylinders, an interior smaller cylinder and then an exterior cylinder. Next, you're going to create the extrusion that goes in between these 2 cylinders. So I'm going to grab a new 2D sketch, and I'm going to start my sketch on this face here. You could either start it on this face or this interior one. It doesn't matter because they're on the same plane. And I need to create a circle that's on the inside here of this external cylinder, and then on the inside of this internal cylinder as well, because I want to make my extrusion between those 2 points. So I could grab a circle, create a circle here, or start it in the center point and create each of these circles. But the easier way is to use my Project Geometry button, and I'm going to click on this interior circle, and that creates that sketch of that circle for me. And then click on this one as well. And what that Project Geometry does is it projects geometry from previous features to this current sketch. So once I create those 2, I'm going to hit Finish Sketch, and I'm going to select that geometry to extrude. Now for this one, we know based on our dimensions that the extrusion should be 0.05. But what's really important to note is that this is only extruding one way, and this needs to be a mid-plane extrusion, or a symmetric extrusion. So you'll notice we have direction 1, direction 2, symmetric, and asymmetric. If we select the symmetric one, that's our mid-plane, and we zoom in, what we'll notice is that it extrudes 0.5 inches, and half of that is in front of the plane and half of that is behind, and that's the type of extrusion we want. So we'll click OK and finish that extrusion. Now we need to go in and create our cutouts. So we're going to create a new 2D sketch on this front face of the extrusion we just created. And I'm going to grab the circle command, and the center point of this initial circle is going to be at the intersection of this circle and my origin axis here. So I'm going to click that. And on your sheet it shows a dimension of 0.25, but on your sheet it is dimensioning an arc, and we in this case are creating a circle. So when you have a dimension for an arc, it's always going to be radius. When you have a dimension for a circle, it's always going to be diameter. So our dimension here is actually 0.5. Once we create that, we're going to go up to the Modify panel, grab the Trim command, and we're going to hover over this outside part of the circle, and you'll notice it turns it into a dashed line, and if we click on it, it'll trim it right off to this existing circle. And once we do that, we can go ahead and finish sketch. Grab the Extrude command, select that profile, select Cut, cut through, and hit OK. Now this obviously doesn't look like the wheel because we're missing the rest of our cutouts. So we're going to use the circular pattern tool to pattern the rest of this shape. The first thing we need to do, though, is we want to pattern this shape around the center axis of this cylinder, and we don't have that axis, so we need to go up to our work features, like in a previous activity, grab the axis command, and if we click on this cylinder, you'll notice that, I'll zoom in a little bit, you'll notice that yellow axis appears. That's actually a work axis, which also appears over here in our browser as well. So now I can grab the circular pattern command. I'm going to select just the feature, the edge of the feature I want to pattern. Then I'm going to come to my panel and hit the selection tool for rotation axis. Select my axis I created. And it defaults to 6. We only need 5, so we'll change this 6 to a 5 and hit OK. And that is patterned that 3D feature all the way around. You could have also done this as a 2D sketch, made that sketch, patterned the sketch, and then extruded all 5 of them. But this generally is a easier and quicker way of doing it. And once you're done with that, if you'd like, you can go up to the materials drop down and assign a material to it. I'll just choose this galvanized for now to give it a metal look. And you want to make sure to go over and right click and get rid of the visibility on your work axis, and then your part is complete.